Welcome to Gary Kaler Stadium, everybody, for this huge Group 5 North 2 semi-final matchup with a trip to the state title at MetLife Stadium on the line between the 1-seeded Westfield Blue Devils and the 4-seeded Elizabeth Minutemen. Westfield trying to improve their streak, their state long winning streak, to 35 consecutive games and win their third straight state title. Chris, last week they're coming off of a nice performance in the first round with a 17-10 victory over Ridge, but pretty close game as we've seen many times this season. And the Blue Devils took care of this Elizabeth team we're going to see today back in Week 6 at Rutgers, 13-6. So what are you looking forward to seeing from the Minutemen trying to compete and knock off this streak?
I'm looking forward for Javon Wachter, the leading rusher on this team with 1,100 rushing yards, to just break through today as he's done all season, but also Lashane Taylor, a dual-threat quarterback, but I want to see him throw the ball a little bit more. Hasn't done too much this season, and last week with Westfield going up against his Ridge pass game, it was a little sloppy, and if Lashane Taylor can get the passing game going, it should be a good day for him. And
for Westfield, Hank Shapiro with just over 100 yards last week. 2 weeks ago had the school record, 301 yards, 4 touchdowns. But Westfield had a tough time running the football last week with House and Allegro. What do you expect from them this afternoon?
Well, first off, Jake Valabera had the 2 rushing touchdowns last week. A great job from him in the Wildcat formation. But this week, the main rushers, Allegro and House, I'm hoping them to get the ball a little bit more, bounce it to the outside, get in the breakaway, open field, and just go for the end zone. But also for Hank Shapiro throwing the football, a lot more receivers this time. You have Freer, you have Rooney, you have Smith, Barden, Norris. All those guys can make catches and make big plays for this offense.
Huge stakes on the line this afternoon in Westfield. Blue Devils, Minutemen coming right up on BD TV. Welcome to Gary Kaler Stadium, everybody, for this Group 5 North 2 state semifinal matchup between the Westfield Blue Devils and the Elizabeth Minutemen. Westfield winning the toss, and they elect to defer. A trip to MetLife Stadium on the line, and we are underway here in Westfield. And the opening kickoff is muffed, but Elizabeth will recover and take over near the 21-yard line.
Yeah, another toe kick right there. You saw the end over end, and we saw that last year. Thomas DeRosa had that kick, and Westfield actually won it. But right there, Kessler pins back the Minutemen deep in their own territory, right at their own 21-yard line. And Mike, right now, this Blue Devil defense coming off a great game last week, allowing 10 points to the Red Devils.
Yeah, last week's contest was another close one. Westfield's had so many tight ball games this year, unlike last season, as we always mention in these broadcasts. Ridge took the lead 7-0.
Yep. Same thing when they played on Week 2, 7-0.
And then Westfield able to get a field goal right before the half, courtesy of Aiden Bowl, and Tommy Norris had a huge conversion. And here's the pitch to the right side on the first drive of the game for Jabriel Harmon, the senior running back. Option number 2 for the Minutemen of Elizabeth behind their star Wachter. And on that first play, Chris, we have a 10-yard holding penalty to back up the Minutemen offense.
Yeah, right there. I saw the hold on Joe Sangiacomo on the left end. That's going to back him up 10 yards. That's going to get 1st and 20. And right there, still the Blue Devils, great job of getting to Harmon to limit him to no gain on the play. And Blue Devil defense right now just got to start off strong. Everyone's got to do their individual job out there. First and 20 at Elizabeth's 9-yard line.
Under center for the Minutemen, the junior quarterback, Lashane Taylor. Dual threat QB who likes to run the football, but he's throwing here, has a receiver for a big gain for the Minutemen. It's Harmon who had the rushing attempt on the first play of the game and makes the catch right there to make it 2nd and short for Elizabeth. Chris, we mentioned in our intro, if Elizabeth wants to win this game, they're going to go out of their comfort zone and throw the football. This is a team that's 75-80% rushing on offense. They really got to throw the football if they want to have a chance today.
Yeah, Westfield picked up a great game too.
There's Javon Wachter with the second effort, picking up the first down.
So 2 big plays right there for the Minutemen. But going back to that pass play to Harmon, I could see that coming the whole way as you have the wide open field on the far side of the field, and Harmon just a quick in route, get the extra yardage. Right now the Blue Devils got secondary, got to be better out there. Last week in crunch time, they let up one big play, almost two, but the receiver was called out of bounds. But right now, Barden McDaniel, two very experienced corners out there with Jordan Simpson, who's come a long way since the beginning of the season, has got to lock down this Minutemen receiving core.
1st and 10 for Elizabeth after their first down. Here is Walker running to the right, and he's going to get hit in the backfield for a loss by the Tap into Westfield Athlete of the Week, senior Stevie Barden, number 1 in blue, making the stop for the loss.
Big play there by Barden, knocks Minutemen back again for a loss of 4. And 2nd and 14, Blue Devils got to be better out there than the first couple plays. Secondary just locked down the zones out there, and defensive lines got to win the line of scrimmage. Do that, they win this whole drive and pretty much the game, because if these defensive line out there can just get through and sack LaShane Taylor and get to Wacker in the backfield, they can win this ball game and advance to MetLife.
2nd and 14, Taylor slinging to his left, has Harmon for a second time in this drive, and it'll be 3rd and about 4 after the 10-yard pickup.
So again, Harmon going one-on-one with Barden out there, and Barden just getting a little bit too much cushion on the play. Comes up with the tackle, making it 3rd and 4, but a 10-yard play right there. Just keep marching down the field, not what you wanted. And right now, 3rd and short opportunity. Have a chance to run it with Walker, but the Blue Devil defense has done a great job of limiting the run game so far throughout this game. But the secondary not looking like their normal selves this past couple of weeks.
So a pivotal 3rd down on this opening possession in the Group 5 North 2 semifinals. A carry to the left side, and a 1st down is picked up for Naseem Daniels. The do-it-all senior captain for Naseem Daniels. We saw him a lot used in various ways back on October 14th at Rutgers, Chris.
Yeah, he can do both. He can run the football and catch, and he had a huge game at Rutgers. But he's got to be, defense got to be on their toes. As you know, jet sweeps are lethal with him, so he can come across, get the ball, and as well he can burn the cornerback too to get to the end zone. Right now, 1st and 10 for the Minutemen at their own 43-yard line.
Daniels gets a 2nd straight carry. This time, only about 3 yards picked up before forward progression is stopped.
And last play, they brought in Jordan Barham for Noah Levy. Barham with Valabera and McGovern and Sinchacoma there. It's a huge defensive line, and that's what they want to do. They want to clog up the holes and make the linebackers make the play. Drew Ortiz, 89 tackles coming into this game, which is unbelievable. We heard his name so many times last week. Right now, if the Blue Devils can clog up the hole, it's going to make Wachter Daniels bounce to the outside, and that's where the Blue Devils can really get you for the loss of yardage.
2nd down. Taylor gonna keep it, and the ball comes out. Will Kessler has the football, and a huge turnover on the first drive of the game. LaShane Taylor gets the ball stripped, and the sophomore Will Kessler comes away with it.
Huge turnover right there by the Minutemen, recovered by Kessler. What a play, a change of momentum, change of confidence for both these sidelines right now. Blue Devils out there in Minutemen territory, and right now is the time to convert. Smith and Rooney out there at receiver, Obsgarten and House in the backfield with sophomore quarterback Hank Shapiro. But going back to that play, great strip. I believe it was Sanji Akoma who came up with the play, then Kessler with the recovery. Huge play for the Blue Devils and another turnover for them this season.
Wandre House gets the carry, and he has himself a 10-yard pickup. Wandre House getting the 1st down, running behind his blockers to the right-hand side with a nice burst of speed for the Gettysburg commit. Good to see that, Chris, because the running game struggled last week with Allegro and House. Weren't able to break free, but a large part was because they were throwing the ball so successfully the past few weeks.
Yeah, last week there were a couple big receiving plays. You know, you've had Rooney and Smith who got their first varsity touchdowns against Scotch Plains. And then last week you have Tom Norris coming up with a huge play, diving catch to extend the 1st down drive, which really got Westfield into the lead with the field goal. But right there, mixing up the pass game and the run game is really going to help this team. It's going to keep the Minutemen on their toes. But going back to House, he's done a great job this season. Last year, there were so many times when he fumbled the football, but this year, just so good at protecting the football. Still having trouble switching the ball to his left hand, running on the left side, but still great job out there from House. Injured this season, but just bounced back and showed everyone that he's a senior running back. He deserves a majority of these snaps, and he has been getting them. Just a great season overall for number 23.
So the Blue Devil offense getting great field position after the fumble. And after the 10-yard pickup for House, ball's at the Elizabeth 30. The Blue Devils trying to capitalize early on in the first quarter. House in the backfield. 2 receivers set for the Blue Devils. Obsgard in the fullback in motion. House gets a carry, but this time he's going to be met in the backfield for a loss of about 4.
Hey, right there, the offensive line just collapsed. House not able to break away from anything. His contact was made instantly as he reached the line of scrimmage. And right now, Casa coming in for Jake Obsgarten. And we wouldn't be surprised, Michael, as he said, they threw a lot the past couple of weeks, and they should be doing it more and more often. Hank Shapiro has really developed into a great quarterback for this team. Beginning of the season, we were all a little iffy about how he's going to throw the football throughout the season, but really matured and has really gotten the job done.
The 5'9", 140-pound junior Clarence Wilkins, number 9, coming up with the stop for a loss of actually 5.5, it looks like, for Clarence Wilkins. Great play for him. And backing up this Westfield offense. Aiden Bolin drilled a field goal, I should say, last week against Ridge right before the half. 2 of 2 on extra points. House gets the carry, able to split through to the defenders for a few yards on that second down and long. So it brings up 3rd and 14 for the Blue Devils. Well out of field goal range here.
This is
definitely a pass play coming up for this Westfield offense, Chris.
Yeah, they got to do that right now. They should have done it last play too, but because there was nowhere to go, you have 2nd and long, definitely time to pass the football after the loss. And Stevie Barton out there, lethal weapon on this offense. But you have Smith and Rooney too, have developed into great receivers as well. Both have their first touchdown, which really gets some confidence out there as well.
Rooney in motion, number 17. And Shapiro looking for Stevie Barton on the slant route that has worked so many times this season, but this time Barton couldn't come up with the catch.
It looks like DeSarno's going to keep him out there for this 4th down play. It's really in that no man's land right there. If you kick it, definite possibility of being a touchback, and if you don't convert, decent field position for the other team. But right now, that fumble recovery I thought was going to get them marching down the field. House had that huge run, but right now just not too good at play calls out there. 3 straight runs after the big loss. And right now, just digging them into the whole 4th and 14 now for the Blue Devils.
4th and long for Westfield. They're going for it. Shapiro under pressure. Has a receiver, but the catch is incomplete. Colin Freer had the defender right on his back. Even if he caught it, was going to be well shy of a first down. But a good hit from the linebacker for the Minutemen. And Elizabeth's defense answers the Westfield defense and forces a turnover on downs, and they'll basically get the ball right where they fumbled it.
Yeah, basically, other than where Kessler just recovered in the House's run, definitely a couple yards missing right there, but still decent field position. But right there, you can see the Minutemen are blitzing often right now, as there was a lot of pressure coming off the weak side right there, Hank Shapiro's backside, but it gets it off. And Westfield's offensive line has got to be alert with that.
Taylor looking to his left, and pass is caught. Again, it's Jabriel Harmon, his 3rd reception of the ball game. Stevie Barton making the tackle. So Taylor and this offense, head coach Jamil Jackson, really emphasizing throwing the football. Both teams watched a lot of tape of the previous matchups for their opponents. And good to see Elizabeth adjust, Chris, because if you remember in that game again at Rutgers, Elizabeth, even when they were trailing, they would only run the football. A mix of both this afternoon as Naseem Daniels has a Minutemen first down running to the far sideline.
Well, going back to that pass play with Harmon, 3 straight pass plays have gone to him. It looks like they're kind of going after Stevie Barden, just giving too much cushion out there. He's just and got a lot of backpedaling too. If he just stayed up more, a little more of a zone instead of man-to-man, because you see all the plays are coming in on quick slants, ins, and curls. A lot of those plays are coming there, and they're picking up substantial yardage right there as it's getting the Minutemen first downs.
Jet sweep. Harmon getting the carry, and Drew Ortiz unable to make the stop. Harmon switches fields to the far side, and he's finally going to be brought down. Ends up being a gain of 5, but a very interesting play right there. Harmon running all the way to the right and then all the way to the left, and not something you see very often, breaking a Drew Ortiz tackle.
Yeah, Drew Ortiz, as I said before, 89 tackles coming into this game. We usually see him take the guy, throw him down, and we saw 2 weeks ago against Scotch Plains that delivered a huge pop over the middle of the field. So Drew Ortiz definitely one of the biggest hitters on this defense. And right there, I was surprised he didn't wrap him up, and Naseem Daniels picks up 5 yards on the play. 2nd and 5 now for the Minutemen. This Blue Devil defense looking very sluggish out there to start off this second drive.
Low snap. Taylor able to pick it up and give it up to Wachter, who makes a nice gain out of it. Looks like he'll be just shy of the first down.
The Blue Devils missing a lot of tackles out there. You saw that right there. LaShane Taylor, low snap, hands it off to Wachter to pick up 3 yards. And right now, 3rd and short. Got to make sure, just everyone do the individual job, but just got to make sure, just make the tackle, nothing else. Just got to wrap him up and bring him down. Don't go for the big hit. Be conservative and just make sure they don't get this first down.
3rd and inches for Elizabeth in the shotgun. Daniels gets the carry, and he has a first down. Jordan Barham will check in on the D-line for Westfield for Noah Levy.
Minutemen pick up the first down. Again, it's smart bringing in Jordan Barham. A little bit bigger than Levy, able to clog up the holes right there, playing defensive tackle, so he's playing more of the A-gap, B-gap right there, and that's where they want to limit the run game. And as I said, do that. These linebackers, Dayon and Kessler, can get out there and come up with the big plays behind the line. We saw that with Stevie Barton, too, coming up with a big stop in the first drive of this game.
That time, Wachter with the carry, picking up a few yards. Jake Valabera making his first tackle. And right now, Chris, Elizabeth continuing to pick up yards on every single carry, and they're able to complete some passes. LaShane Taylor having a nice performance early on.
Yeah, right now a lot of run plays this past couple plays, but yeah, the pass game has definitely been there. LaShane Taylor hitting Harmon on the outside, and Stevie Barden, Simpson, and Adam McDaniel, they just got to make sure that they just don't get the big plays. Let them have the 4-yard passes, but the past couple plays that have gone to Harmon have been for about 7-8 yards, and that's what you do not want.
Taylor, quarterback design run, running to the left and steps out of bounds.
Colin Freer checks in for Joe
Brings up
Sangiacomo.
A 3rd down for Westfield. Interesting to see Sangiacomo come out. Not something that happens too often.
They had that strip for the fumble a few minutes ago.
Man in motion. Taylor takes a hit from Elliott, and the pass is dropped. Intended for John McDaniel, and the senior McDaniel just could not make the catch. It was right in his hands.
Hit him.
A great job of Shea Elliott bringing the pressure and laying Taylor to the ground.
You saw Elliott coming in right through the middle of the offensive line, applies a huge hit, and basically applied the pressure the whole way, and right there McDaniel can't come up with the catch. And right now the Minutemen's got to punt it away. Emmett Smith back at his own 10-yard line.
We saw a fake last week. The past 2 weeks, I should say. A short punt, but good punt for the Minutemen. Down at the 10-yard line. So Westfield will be backed up. But there is a penalty marker on the play. And it is apparently going to be a false start.
It's going to be a re-kick out there. They're going to say decline the penalty, and they're going to re-kick, so 10 yards further back. And that's, good for Westfield because, Smith, he's done a great job returning kicks this season. Want to see him break one free and get the touchdown. And he has another chance right here as balls move back, 5 yards.
Another good punt. This one is going to bounce and be down at the 9.
Nearly blocked there by Dan. Saw the punter move a little bit to his right on the play. And Westfield picking back deep in their own territory. Right now it's time to, get the pass game going. Not try to get the big play, but quick slants, outs, play action passes, but also Wanderhouse doing a great job too. But let's see Tim Allegro get in there. Just run it up the middle. Use his power to get through the offensive line. We see him break it out too. But right now the Westfield offense, it's got to be balanced out there. Mix up the pass play with a couple of runs as well.
A minute 57 to go here in the first quarter. Still no score. And Wandre House getting the carry. Gonna lose a yard or so. As he got that carry to the right-hand side. Elizabeth's defense got here very early this morning, Chris. They were warming up, and they looked very serious, very focused in warm-ups. Coming off of a big win last week on the road at East Orange in the opening round in that 4-5 matchup. House, another carry. This time, he breaks free. A huge gain and a touchdown saving tackle at the 40-yard line by John McDaniel. But a tremendous play and a 40-plus yard pickup for Wandre House.
Wandre House makes up for the lost yards right there, picks up a huge gain, gets it to the Westfield 42, even steps over John McDaniel at the end of the play, showing, hey, this is me. See what I got. Shows him who's boss and picks up a huge chunk of yardage for the Blue Devils.
And that's going to be a false start on the Blue Devils, backing them up 5 yards.
Yeah, false start on Fierce. Pushes them back 5 yards. Freer, Obsgarten, Smith, and Rooney out there, along with Allegro checking in for House after the big play moments ago.
Shotgun for the Blue Devils. Play action. A wide open Jake Obsgarten with the reception and the first down.
Obsgarten had one reception last week, but gets a huge 15-yard reception right there to push Westfield forward into Elizabeth territory. First down for the Blue Devils.
Obsgarten's first, I believe, second reception of the year. And a carry up the middle for Tim Allegro, the sophomore, getting in there, his first touch.
So you get the big 15 completion. You get a couple yards right there. Now it's time to go back to the pass game. See if you can hit Smith, on an out route, Rooney on a slant, anything that can get him going. Mix it up a little bit. That's what you got to do in this game. But not right now as clock winds down 2-0, but a great first quarter from both teams.
Yeah, very entertaining first quarter here from Westfield. Still no score, but the Blue Devils driving. Wandre House with a 40-plus yard rush. As we head into the second quarter, the road to MetLife continues right here on BDTV. So welcome back here to Westfield. The second quarter about to start. Elizabeth start off with the football in quarter number 1 after Westfield deferred the kickoff. And then a costly fumble for the Minutemen. Will Kessler coming up with the recovery. Joe Sangiacomo with the strip to get us to where we are right now. Westfield driving down the field. Shapiro, play action, finds Obsgarden again for the reception of about 4 yards right there.
Yeah, right now 3rd and 4 right now for the Blue Devils. Another, just again, way to mix it up. Another just quick completion right there to get them a couple yards. But right now you got to get the first down, keep the drive going. As right now, still 0-0 on the scoreboard, start of the second quarter. And Blue Devils had a great opportunity last time after you said the Will Kessler fumble recovery. But right now just got to capitalize on their defense's efforts.
Allegro gets the carry on 3rd down, and he has the first down. A big play for Allegro.
This run game has really been coming alive this past couple of plays. Wanderhouse, huge carry. Allegro getting it done too with a couple nice runs as well. And again, that's what you just got to do. Just keep defense on their toes. They don't know where the ball's going. That's just been a good job of mixing it up. But this Blue Devil team, again, for the defense, they've seen a lot of run plays already this game, and they know what's happening. But LaShane Taylor is mixing a couple pass plays, but the Westfield looks like is adapting to how their play design is going.
Smith and Rooney, the receivers. Obsgarden in motion. House gets the carry to the right-hand side for a 3-yard pickup.
Yeah, so a decent pickup right there for House. We haven't seen Valabera too much in here. We have usually, short yardage situation, but 2 touchdowns last week. He's just been a big part of this offense for the Blue Devils. But right now, Rooney and Smith are quiet out there. Another factor for this Blue Devil offense. And Shapiro, got to look their way too. Just both good speed, great hands. And they're the guys who want to making the big plays out there as well.
Second down for Westfield. Obsgarden again in motion. There's the pitch to House. Good block from Obsgarden. But House went inside instead of outside, and he got met by 3 Minutemen defenders.
Yeah, you said Obsgarden right there on the seal for the outside of House. Did a second quicker cut to the inside, or if he just bounced to the outside, would have gotten much better yardage as Allegro checks in for the senior. But right now, Blue Devils got to convert. Stevie Barton has checked in as well. And 3rd and 8 right here for the Blue Devils at the Minutemen 30-yard line.
Ball at the 30-yard line. So still out of field goal range. Multiple penalties right there. Elizabeth had jumped after the false start. Westfield didn't snap it.
Yeah, everyone moved except for the center on that one. So a big blow for the Blue Devils, going to push them back 5 yards on the play. And again, I saw coverage on the far side of the field. Stevie Barton was one-on-one with no free safety back there. So it's just one-on-one Barton. We've seen sometimes, again, 6 receiving touchdowns this season. Possibly another one as Barton's speed just gets him so many great opportunities to catch the football. And again, safeties are playing up only at the 25-yard line.
3rd and 12 with 9.5. Shapiro running with it. Picking up a few yards there. Powerful run for Shapiro, taking a big hit. Staying with the football. You remember last week, Chris had broke off for that huge 30-yard run or so, and then just inches away from the end zone, gets it stripped. And Shapiro will limp his way to the sideline. Here on 4th and 6, the Blue Devils going for it. Not coming off because he's hurt, coming off because they're going to run the football with Valabera, but he was limping as he made his way to the sideline. Another penalty. And it's another false start. Now, questionable decision. Will you still go for it on 4th and 11?
Yeah, just another bad play right there for the Blue Devils, but I would go for it as it is 4th and 11. Valabera, we haven't really seen them throw the football too much this season. I don't even think once at all. but still, he does know how to throw it. He played a lot his freshman year and a couple of times. Once only his freshman year, but still, he's just a well-rounded athlete, and he has Barden on the outside, best receiver on the team, and if you throw to him, it's a good possibility he'll come down with it.
It's his first time coming in the game today on offense. 4th and 11, Westfield still going for a 3-receiver set, and it's a throw. Open receiver, Colin Freer, but the pass is too far out in front. But a penalty marker is on the play on Elizabeth. And now head coach Jameel Jackson is not happy at all. It's going to be a 15-yard roughing the passer penalty, an automatic first down for the Blue Devils. And Coach Jackson well outside the coaching box, almost onto the W, and they should get a second penalty.
Yeah, that was definitely a definite sideline warning. It's roughing the passer on the play. So a huge break for the Blue Devils, pick up the first down. But going back to that play, Valabera had Freer wide open in the end zone on the streak route. Not able to convert, but still, huge break. And I wouldn't be surprised, this way is going. When we size, a penalty will be enforced on the sideline. As you saw, all 3 of the coaches right onto the field in disbelief after the play.
So the ball's at the 18 for Westfield after the penalty.
And Barden's
Shapiro
still out
is back on the field along with Stevie Barden. Tim Allegro in the backfield. Emmett Smith in the slot on the right-hand side. Shapiro looking for Smith, who makes the catch. Tough catch for Smith, guarded tightly by Tyquan McCrary.
So legal formation for the Blue Devils. Again, just a lot of big penalties that are pushing them back. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty. So another big mistake for the Blue Devil offense. I believe that's 3 false starts already on this drive.
Yeah, the 5th total penalty of this possession. Westfield trying to capitalize with 8 minutes and 10 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. In the semifinal, the second round of the Group 5 North 2 state playoffs. The 2-seed Piscataway taking on the 3-seed Bridgewater as we speak. We'll have updates soon as Allegro gets the carry to the left side, picking up a few yards.
That picks up the yardage lost on the previous place, makes it 2nd and 10 now for the Blue Devils, 2nd and 11, excuse me. And right now, Blue Devils just keep doing what they're doing, mixing up the play call. You have Barton, you have Freer, Smith, and Rooney, just great receivers for this Westfield team. Smith had that one catch before, but it was called back for the illegal formation. But again, Barton lined up one-on-one on the far side of your screen with no safety back, so it's just a very...
Shapiro looking for Smith, but not on the same route. A miscommunication between the quarterback and the receiver. We'll bring up 3rd and 11. And Chris, talking about that Bridgewater game, Greg Verana, the Panther quarterback, throwing a 24-yard touchdown as we speak. The Panthers lead the Piscataway Chiefs 14-6 early in the second quarter.
Many people thought Piscataway would be running away with this game as they've done so many times this season, but Bridgewater had a big win last week, and that just got them a lot of confidence.
3rd down, Shapiro under pressure. Incomplete, was looking for Griffin Rooney. The sophomore played his freshman year at Seton Hall Prep and had a breakout game against Scotch Plains. But good defense, great coverage we've seen in this first half from the cornerbacks for the Minutemen.
Absolutely, they've been knocking passes away, just great lock-up defense all the way around. And they've limited Stevie Barden too, nothing really thrown his way. Smith, Rooney, just nothing really happening too much for them. The only really big completion has been to Jake Obsgard, and he's the starting fullback out there, and we haven't seen him in the past 5 minutes on the field.
Shapiro is going to take a big sack to end the drive for Westfield. So back-to-back possessions. Westfield able to move the ball down the field, but they get stopped around the 30-yard line and a turnover on downs on their first two possessions.
The offense is not capitalizing on anything that's happening for them out there. They had the fumble with Kessler, huge penalty call for roughing the passer, but can't capitalize. So that's got to be an adjustment made when they go into the half. But right now, defense playing a great game out there, as they haven't really let any big plays get by them. But right now, corners got to make sure Harmon doesn't do anything too big out there. Barden, doing a decent job out there, but just too many balls going Harmon's way that are being received for a catch. But the defensive line doing their job along with the linebackers as well.
Shotgun for the Minutemen. Down the field, well in front of the intended receiver, Adam McDaniel almost had a play on the football, but couldn't come away with it. Just a little too far to his left. But Taylor really aired that football. Not a good throw from the junior quarterback. One of the four captains, only non-senior captain for Elizabeth, along with Nasim Daniels, Jackson Ramirez, and Tasim Hicks. Second and 10. Design quarterback run is blown dead after the false start, the first false start for the Elizabeth offense, to make it 2nd and 15.
Again, a lot of penalties going back and forth between these two teams. That's really restricting both of them from getting anything big out there or advancing throughout the field. So 2nd and 15 now for the Minutemen. We have seen in the past. We saw before Taylor throwing it, but overthrow, almost picked off by McDaniel. But so this is a time, got to pass the football. If you run and don't get too much out of it, it's going to be 3rd and long.
Blue Devils 9-0 on the season. Elizabeth 5-5. Taylor passes batted down near the line of scrimmage. San Giacomo getting his hand on the football. The senior has really stepped up. Chris, these are the kind of players you need when guys like Owen Kessler, Jeff Gagum go down, graduate, and leave the program. San Giacomo, not a star in his sophomore and junior year, but a great role player starting last year at linebacker, but he has really had a tremendous year and become a star for this Westfield defense.
Yeah, he's really come alive on this D line as he blocks the passer right there.
And a big stop.
Wow.
In the backfield, Valabera and Rory McGovern laying down the Minutemen.
Well, you got the two biggest guys coming at you on the defensive line for the Blue Devils. You got to know it's going to be a huge hit, and they deliver one right there. Valabera and McGovern, huge hit, knocks them back a couple yards, and right now 4th and long. Smith back to receive at his 45-yard line, and Westfield has already come close.
4th and 15, Westfield bringing the pressure. They can't block the kick. It's a line drive, and Smith has it, and he's down at the 48-yard line. Westfield winning the field position game, Chris, getting their offense. Great field position at their own 48-yard line. Saw last week they were able to pick things up in the second quarter, especially in the final minutes. On 4th and long, Tommy Norris making a great catch. Yep. Bolin delivering with 3 through the uprights. And this is where you need a score to put yourselves ahead, give yourselves momentum and some leeway heading into the half.
You're right now, if you get points on the board, and the Westfield has the ball to start.
Shapiro has nowhere to go, and he is sent to the ground. Nasim Daniels, along with John Morales, coming up with the sack. But this one might not count. Penalty marker is being discussed right now between the 4 head officials.
So it's a penalty on the defense. So last play, not going to matter, as it's going to move the Blue Devils up 5 yards. And it picks them up. Picks on 5 yards, still get the first down. So right now, get into Elizabeth territory. And right now, Shapiro already sacked a couple times this game. He's got to know when to get rid of the football. He's had a couple receivers open that he hasn't spotted, but he's got to adjust to that. This Minutemen team is pretty big out there, but still, you got to find your receivers.
Wandre House getting the carry, and he has a first down and more. Breaking his way near the 30-yard line and pushed out of bounds. House has really gotten loose. And again, there's another penalty in the backfield. Holding on the Westfield offense. Getting ridiculous out here, Chris. Just so many penalties in the past 3 possessions for both of these teams.
I'm not sure who you can blame right there, as the penalties were going on the kids who just aren't doing what they're doing, or the refs just being too tedious out there of what they're calling penalties on. They say there's a holding play on every snap in football, but still sometimes you got to know that doesn't look like a hold. Got to know not to throw that flag as Barden checks in now for Jake Obsgarten, but still 7 penalties in the past couple of minutes here in this game.
1st and 17 after the hold for Westfield. Another 3 receiver set that we've seen mostly today. House picks up 5 to make it 2nd and 12, getting closer to that line of scrimmage. Getting the majority of the carries at the halfback.
That's good what the Sarno's doing. He's bringing in Stevie Barden almost like a decoy, because they know that Barden's a great receiver on this team, and they know when he's in, it's most likely going to be a pass play. But these past couple of plays now, House getting the football, Barden out there, so it looks like it's going to be a pass play the whole way, but House is getting the football.
House has nowhere to go. They rule him down before the ball comes out.
And House is down on the play.
Tajir Tate, the junior, 235 pounds, making the tackle on House, and his 235-pound body fell on House. And House is slow to get up on the ground right now. As he gets attended to by the training staff. With 5:01 to play here in the second quarter. Still no score in Westfield. We'll step aside for this injury timeout on BDTV. So Wandre House slowly walking off the field. Tim Allegro in the game. Shapiro trying to make something happen. And he does. A first down for Westfield. The catch is made by the sophomore, Griffin Rooney.
Shapiro able to elude the pressure in the backfield, rolled out to his right and hit Rooney. Just not really much going on. Has to find a way to get open. Comes back to the football and picks up the big first down for the Blue Devils. Now in Minutemen territory, got to capitalize. Haven't been able to do so in the past couple of drives, but right now going to lead with the half and get the ball to start the half as well can really set the tone for the rest of this game.
Allegro gets the football, and he is smothered by Nassim Daniels and Tassim Hicks. Hicks had the big hit right there, crushing Allegro to the ground. Westfield had one-on-one coverage on the far sideline with Stevie Barden.
It has been all game.
And John McDaniel. There was no help from the safety. Aiden Bolin, the senior field goal kicker, warming up on the Westfield sideline. 2nd and 10, fake the bubble screen, and there's going to be pass interference. A good call. Barden had his shoulder hit and held. That is a great call, and Westfield will benefit from it, getting the first down. And a quick update on the Bridgewater-Piscataway game. Still 14-6, but Piscataway just had a 75-yard touchdown that would have given him a chance to tie it, but the play was called back due to an illegal man down the field. So a huge blow for Piscataway. Obviously, if you're aware of, unless you've been living under a rock the past 2 years, Westfield's taken care of Bridgewater in the state title game the past 2 years. The Panthers lead it 14-6. 3:48 to go. Westfield trying to get on the scoreboard. Allegro has a hole, breaks to the left, and has a first down, and he makes a statement as he just rolls over Melendez and his helmet comes off.
Allegro, you saw him with a quick cutback, picks up the first down on the play. As you said, makes a big statement right there, lowering his shoulder, and knocks off number 23's helmet, Darius Brown, as timeout is called by Elizabeth.
The Minutemen will talk it over with 3:36 in the second quarter. Westfield, the furthest down the field they've been. We'll be right back on BDTV. A 1st and 10 coming up for the Blue Devils after a timeout called by the Minutemen. Wandre House able to get up off the trainer table, standing on the sideline right now. Allegro in the backfield, 2 receivers set. Barden on the top of your screen, but they give it to Allegro. Able to pick up about 2 yards there.
This was lost 2 on the play, so 2nd and 12 now for the Blue Devil offense. So right now, go to this pass game, and also, even if you have to run the football, go to the outside. A lot of great blocks have been made from Rooney and Smith on the right side of the field. That's how Allegro was able to pick up that 10-yard play before the timeout was called. And right now, Smith and Barden at the top of your screen with Rooney at the bottom.
Allegro getting another carry, but nowhere to go. The front line for Elizabeth doing a terrific job of stopping the run game, locking down once they've been backed up on their side of the field, Chris.
Almost a loss of yards again for Allegro, but able to just back his way through, pick up 3 yards on the play, barely getting anything on it, but still makes it 3rd and 9 instead of 3rd and 13, 3rd and 14 on the play. Could have given up, but did not. So 3rd and 9 right now. Barden at the top of your screen, Rooney and Smith at the bottom. That's freer moves in motion.
Another penalty marker. Will back up Westfield 5 yards. Westfield in field goal range, so if they don't complete this 3rd down, good chance we see Aiden Bolin come out for a field goal to put some points on the board. And another update after the Piscataway penalty called back. Bridgewater gets the football and scores another touchdown. So they lead it 21-6 as their second quarter is winding down. 3rd and 14 for Shapiro. The same play. And a timeout is going to be called by head coach Jim DeSarno. Will stay with you here in this timeout. DeSarno is livid at his offense. Aiden Bolin, 21 of 24 on extra points and 3 of 4 on field goals. 30 total points on the year. I might see him come out just shortly.
Right now, Blue Devil offense out there. Haven't really seen too many big plays. A lot of nice run plays for medium-sized yards, but still not that big breakout play. We had that one play in the beginning of the game, House, a great 40-yard run. But right now, Shapiro got to trust his arm, find his receivers. If they can't do that, it's going to most likely be going tied into the half unless Bolin does come out to kick the field goal. But still, you'd rather get that touchdown than only lead by 3.
Yeah, definitely looking for the touchdown. The same play again, Freer in motion. Shapiro under pressure, gets the screen. Allegro, room in front, and he has the touchdown. Westfield takes the lead here in the state semifinals over Elizabeth, and they get on the scoreboard first with 1:40 left in the second quarter. Sophomore to sophomore, Shapiro on the screen finds Timmy Allegro for the touchdown.
Shapiro drops back, line collapse, but just able to get out there and block for Allegro. Just dumps it over, finds 30 right to the end zone, picks up a huge touchdown for this Blue Devil team. Fan base is happy, student section is happy, and right now, this sideline for the Blue Devils could not be more thrilled.
Yeah, just what the doctor ordered for the Blue Devils. Getting into the end zone. And a quick penalty already on this PAT attempt. Encroachment, so it just moves the football up a yard. Jack McCauley, the long snapper for the Blue Devils. Emmett Smith holding. Aiden Bolin kicking. And he drills it to make it 7-0.
A great sequence of plays right there. It looked like the Blue Devils weren't going to get too much out of that drive, but it was a great screenplay overall. It looked like the pocket was collapsing. Every single defensive lineman for the Minutemen were coming in. Tosses it over to him. Shapiro tosses it over and finds Allegro, and it looked like a tackle, but just a breakaway speed gets him into the end zone.
Huge play for Westfield, and not leaving Elizabeth with much time to work with.
Yeah, 1:42 to go here in this first half. And again, Blue Devils get the ball to start the second. So if they can get defense to shut down the Minutemen right now, get the ball back to start the second half, you know, it should be going in their favor. If they can get a 14-0 lead, that would be amazing for them. And they could try to ride out the rest of this game.
Kessler, the sophomore, sends it away on the ground. And still bouncing around, Colin Freer's at the bottom of the pile. He might have the football.
Wow, that would be a huge turn of events again. Scuffle at the bottom of the pile.
Great hustle, even if he doesn't have it from Freer. They do say Elizabeth has the football.
And number 8 for the Minutemen, Gabriel Nash, still down on the field. You could tell he took a hit right there. So he was one of the guys going for the ball, but got hit hard by number 84, Colin Freer. As he makes it up off the ground, still limping a little bit. Excuse me, not number 8, number 6, Kequan Jameson. Right now, this defense for the Blue Devils, $1:39 to go here in this first half. Got to lock down, make sure no big plays. Stevie Barton there is looking a lot better since the game has started. Adam McDaniel and Jordan Simpson, too, are looking very good out there. But this defensive line doing a lot of great things out there. McGovern and Balaber had that huge hit before, and Joe San Giacomo as well.
Walter gets the carry, sprinting down the sideline, and McDaniel will shove him into his own teammates.
So picks up 5 on the run play. 4 on the run play. And 1:32 to go here.
Clock stops after going
half.
out of bounds. For Javon Walker, the star halfback for the Minutemen, yet to break loose in this one, Chris, but he's had some nice carries.
Yeah, 1,100 yards coming into the game with 9 rushing touchdowns. Definitely not seeing that type of runner out here today against this Westfield team. But still, this Minutemen offense is doing a lot of good stuff out there, mixing up the run play and the pass play.
Walter gets it again. This time he's going backwards and hit out of bounds. Drew Ortiz getting Walter to the ground. Shea Elliott also there.
Adam McDaniel as well. First one to make contact on the play, but again, Wachter able to get out, Daniels able to get out of bounds. And right there at 1:25 to go, so it's 3rd down and 2, and if Blue Devils can stop him right here, they could get the ball back, and Smith, again, great returner, could get him good field position. I would say try to go for it. Try to get that lead, and if they fail, kick it away, still get the ball to start the second half.
Barham comes in on the D-line for Levy. McDaniel, the lone safety for the Blue Devils.
Dang, everyone's in the box right now except for that one-on-one matchup with Barden.
Walker has the football, and he has nowhere to go. The Westfield D-line coming up with a stop. Jake Dayon and Jordan Barham are there, and Coach DeSarno wisely will stop the clock, call a timeout, and the Minutemen are going to have to punt here on 4th and 2.
We have seen before the fake, but again, that's high risk, high reward. Get the first down, but still the risk is you don't convert. Westfield gets the ball in your own field position and has a great possibility of extending their lead. So I would just kick it away, pin them back as much as you can. But again, Blue Devils, go out there. Mentality is get the big play going, get the ball out of bounds, or just try to stop the clock.
1 timeout left for Westfield, 2 timeouts left for Elizabeth. With 1:16 here to play in the second quarter, Westfield leads it 7-0, courtesy of Hank Shapiro's pass to Tim Allegro for the touchdown, the only score in today's contest. Smith is back at his own 25-yard line. Penalty on the play, a booming punt. Smith takes the fair catch at the 22. The senior Facundo Luna with a very strong-looking punt right there.
Yeah, but there's a flag on the play, so that it's a false start on the Minutemen. So I'm not sure if the Westfield just wants to take the 5-yard penalty there or make Minutemen re-kick. It looks like they will make them re-kick.
Let's see. Yeah, 37.
So re-kick coming up for Luna. 5'10", 155-pound punter and kicker for the Minutemen of Elizabeth with 1:10 to go. It's officially a 4th and 8, so no fake expected. Luna, another good one and another fair catch, but it's muffed, and Elizabeth has the football, I believe.
No, it looks like Westfield came up with it. Yeah, Adam McDaniel able to get in there, so almost a costly mistake right there by Emmett Smith. You rarely see that kid muff the football, but Adam McDaniel, hero on the play, coming up with the fumble recovery.
A very scary play there. I thought Elizabeth immediately jumped on top of it, but great effort
I could see the ball sneak out a little bit at
from
the end.
McDaniel. McDaniel probably knows a fair catch is coming. He could have just jogged his way down the field, but give a lot of credit.
Never gives up on the play.
A lot of credit to the senior. He's frustrated himself that he's not playing wide receiver. Great hustle play from Adam McDaniel, saving Westfield right there. Shapiro taking a shot down the field for Stevie Barden, but incomplete. John McDaniel for Elizabeth on the coverage. Barden had a step on him, but couldn't run under it. A little too far out in front.
It was a beautiful ball, though. It looked like it was going to get to him, but just a little overthrown. Barden giving it 110%, trying to track that ball down, but just falls incomplete. As referee timeout called on the play. Looks like a helmet malfunction on the play for one of the Minutemen linebackers. And I saw Adam McDaniel walk over and closer towards Coach DeSarno, as you said, disappointed not getting too many minutes playing at wide receiver, but right now get the big play going. If you have McDaniel out there too, him and Barden, a couple of the fastest guys on the team at wide receiver, could cause trouble for this Minutemen defensive back unit.
Shapiro faking, has Emmett Smith, makes the catch and pushed down near the 40. A huge gain for the Blue Devils. Another flag. And this play is going to be brought back, a holding penalty. Darius Brown lost his helmet for the Minutemen. He's going to have to come out.
That's his third time this game. He was the one who had the malfunction a play ago, but still a crushing blow again for this Blue Devil offense. Another penalty as Smith, he could have made up for that muffed punt with a 40-yard reception on the play.
And somebody on this Elizabeth training staff, they got to get Brown a new helmet.
Yeah, I know. Like 3 times in a game, you definitely do not see that, but dangerous territory right now for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, right now your chances of scoring are low. You just want to not turn the ball over and punt it away. Get a few yards on the ground is what they're going to do. Allegro, the powerful sophomore.
Forced out of bounds by Auguste.
Pushed out of bounds.
There as well.
Tyrell Auguste on the stop.
3rd and long now for the Blue Devils.
12-yard pickup.
Wouldn't be
for
surprised,
Allegro.
try to air that ball out. Spoke too soon, but it looks like Osgarten checked in for McDaniel, so, a quick run right here could really, get Westfield out of this drought they've been in, just so close to their end zone, and Kessler can just kick it away.
House is met immediately.
Tackled by Hudson.
Another penalty marker on the field.
Timeout, Minutemen.
And a timeout is taken by Elizabeth, their second timeout of the half. They have one remaining. 36 seconds to play here in the second quarter. Westfield about to punt. It's 4th and 14 for the Blue Devils.
Right now, Kessler just got a biggest kick of the season. Just try to get it back past midfield. Elizabeth only has one timeout left, and if you just keep him in bounds, can't really do too much with it.
A very sloppy game, Chris, but I think everyone in this stadium agrees the refs need to let the kids play a little bit more. They've just been blowing the whistle. Too many penalty markers, the most by far we've seen in any game the past 2 years.
I think that there's been more penalties in this first half than there has been all game for this Blue Devil team. For both ways, too. Just amount of stoppage time there has been.
Gabriel Nash, the junior, is back to receive this punt. 5'8", 145 pounds is Nash. High snap, another penalty. Kessler just able to get away, and there goes Nash running downhill to the left side. Excellent return inside the 30-yard line, down at the 27. The speedster, Gabriel Nash, with a great return. Another penalty on Westfield. The Minutemen decline it. With one timeout remaining, 25 seconds left. A good field goal kicker for the Minutemen. They're already in range, but they'll take a couple shots and try to tie this game. It is going to be as an intense second half as Westfield has had in this 34-game win streak.
Absolutely. Both teams going head-to-head. Westfield is leading 7-0, but both teams are playing exceptionally well. This Minutemen offense, hasn't getting it done. And this Westfield defense, too, battling as well. Elizabeth defense, battling. Westfield retaliating. Both have just been so good out there. And right now, this Minutemen offense, led by LaShane Taylor, tries to punch it in with 25 seconds to go here in this first half.
Taylor has plenty of time. Open receiver. And an incredible play is made by Stevie Barden. A touchdown, saving a deflection. Barden came out of nowhere, Chris. I didn't even see him. I thought I was about to fall in the hands of Harmon for the touchdown. But Barden comes up clutch and makes the deflection. Harmon beat his defender, Adam McDaniel, and got open.
Well, Adam McDaniel was coming across from a safety position. He beat Barden originally. Barden able to get over there, but if Barden didn't get a hand up, Adam McDaniel was right there to just get the interception at the one, but still great defensive stop there by Stevie Barden. Now 2nd and 10 now for the Minutemen, and Westfield defense got to hunker down. It looked like Jake Dan has actually dropped back into a free safety position.
2 receivers to the right. Taylor runs with it. Valabera with a big stop coming from behind, wrapping up LaShane Taylor by the legs.
As Elizabeth calls the timeout, 14 seconds to go.
Final timeout of the half.
A great play there by Valabera. It looked like LaShane Taylor was able to squeak by. Valabera says, not today. Able to wrap him up by the legs, and LaShane Taylor only can pick up 2 yards on the carry. And right now, the Minutemen offense, 14 seconds to go.
And they
do have a good kicker, but right now it looks like Elizabeth really wants to tie up this game.
And with this break, Chris, we could update you on the Bridgewater game. The Panthers on the road in Piscataway, they lead 27-6.
Wow.
So it looks like Bridgewater is headed to the state title game for their 3rd straight year, as they await the winner of this game between the Blue Devils and the Minutemen. Ball's at the 26-yard line. Bridgewater crushed Watchung last week, and they are killing Piscataway right now at the half. 3rd and 8. Taylor, no timeouts to work with. Valabera coming from behind, and the ball is caught. Touchdown, Elizabeth. LaShane Taylor got absolutely laid out. I'm not sure if he's all right. An incredible catch is made in the end zone for the touchdown, but a penalty marker is down, and Taylor is in serious pain.
He got rocked right there by this Westfield defense, but there's still a flag on the play. It's going to be a holding penalty on the Minutemen, so another huge break there for the Blue Devils. And with this game, you say call for the other team. The refs have been calling it both ways for both teams, throwing flags left and right for the Minutemen and the Blue Devils. But 5 seconds left. It's going to be 3rd and 17 for the Minutemen, and right now they just got to air it out to the end zone. Well, LaShane Taylor still down, their number 1 quarterback, dual threat. I wonder who they're going to bring in now.
Yeah, that was a serious shot. Valabera was coming from behind.
But still, that type of contact, it's got to be face-to-face. From behind, you just bring them down. But still, if you're running at someone, they're running at you. And it's physics. They're just going to run at each other, a bigger blast, basically. And LaShane Taylor gets laid down to the ground.
And somehow he was able to find an open receiver in the end zone. But that is not going to count, obviously, after the penalty. Taylor able to walk off the field on his own power. There's 5 seconds remaining. Well out of field goal range, obviously, here at the 43.
And right now, the Minutemen could air it out, but still taking the knee would be a better decision. Taylor is hurt. Wouldn't try to risk anything right now. Take knee, go into the half. Still trails 7-0, but still, no risk. But for this Westfield Blue Devil team, really have been giving it their all right there. The penalty goes in their favor, but this drive, Stevie Barden had that great deflection on the first play. And right now, a 3rd and very long now for the Minutemen. Looks like they're going to spread out 3 wide. And number 8, Gabriel Nash, will line up under center.
Another penalty, a false start on the offensive line. Just a sloppy first half. Continuing here, a little bit of drizzle on and off down on the field, and very chilly. Not colder than last week, but temperatures still in the low 40s.
Actually, it's not Gabriel Nash. It's actually backup quarterback Clarence Wilkins. Sorry, the numbers out there. Very smushed together. Looks the same. And another, looked like a false start.
Wilkins takes the knee, and Elizabeth, will go into the half trailing by 7. An entertaining but a sloppy first half here in Westfield. Hank Shapiro able to find Tim Allegro on the screen pass to get the touchdown for the Blue Devils.
And Mike, for the Blue Devils going into the half, you know, they got to talk about, make sure, you know, penalties, got to stop. No more of those. That's really been hurting them. But also this defense, they got to limit LaShane Taylor, who, if he's still healthy and comes back in, but it looks like Wilkins, who was out there, that was probably going to be out there. Taylor did have that big hit. But also this Blue Devil offense, keep mixing it up. Run pass, but also hold the ball a little bit more. They barely had the ball at all this first half. And right now, Hank Shapiro's looking good out there. This offensive line, though, got to protect him a little bit more. And Tim Allegro and Wandre House have got to get going. If they do that, they can win this ball game.
Yeah, Chris, well said. And talking about LaShane Taylor, took him a while to get up, but he was able to walk off the field on his own power. Now he has about half an hour to rest. I expect Taylor to be back out there with his career, with his season on the line, just a junior. Westfield leads it 7-0. Bridgewater is well on their way to the state title appearance. We got a close one and a good one here in Duffield. We'll be right back on BDTV with second half coverage of Westfield and Elizabeth. So welcome back to Westfield for the Group 5 North 2 state playoffs. Here in the second round, the Blue Devils, the top seed, leading the Elizabeth Minutemen 7-0. And they await this second half kickoff. Emmett Smith on the return down near the 24-yard line. If you're just joining us, Hank Shapiro able to find Tim Allegro for a 10-yard screen pass touchdown with just under 2 minutes for the only score of the first half. A sloppy first half, Chris. 13 total penalties, 105 penalty yards combined between these two teams.
Yeah, just atrocious out there. I'm not, if you want to blame it on the officiating or just the players making mistakes, there have been a lot of mistakes. You see the false start sometimes, but other times there's a flag out there. You just don't know what it's for, and you can hear the complaints from both sidelines. But right now, second half, each team, you know, penalties are killing them in the first half, and right now they got to limit them now.
There's the pitch. Wandre House, the senior, on the left side, picking up a few yards as he tiptoes down the sideline.
Picks up about 5 on the play. Good run there by House. And right now, you know, it's during the half, it started to rain a lot more, just a lot more, so it's going to be harder to throw the football out there. Hank Shapiro, you know, most of his passes, just short completions. We saw that one to Stevie Barden where he aired it out, but a little overthrew him. But right now, you know, run game, it's got to be there, but also he's got to hit those quick completions.
House gets it again. Down near the 33. Going to be 3rd and short for Westfield. 3rd and 2 to be exact, and Valabera will come in as they need to pick up these 2 yards here.
With the jumbo package, you got Ortiz and Elliott in there in the backfield. Tommy Norris coming in there as well, and Jake Dayon too. You know, you got the whole linebacking core in there, and Jake Val as well.
Valabera pushing his way forward. It's going to be close, and he did get the first down. So Ortiz and Elliott and Dayon come in, do their job and block, and Valabera using the 235-pound frame to pick up the first down. A 3-year starter on the defensive end for Westfield. And last year we saw him a lot as a running back, as a halfback. This year we see at quarterback come in, but you know when he's under center, he's going to be running the football. Shapiro throws it incomplete.
And Jameel Jackson again running on to the field.
And a flag comes out. Could be intentional grounding. Or possibly a sideline warning on Elizabeth. Those head coaches have been on the field outside the coach's box all afternoon. And it will be intentional grounding on Shapiro.
Okay, so not a smart play. Where the intentional grounding took place, as Smith looked like to be lost 20 yards on the play. Second down and very long now for the Blue Devils. And they have Smith, Rooney, and Barden all lined up on one side of the field.
Shapiro looking for Wandre House. And that was a live ball behind the line of scrimmage. Good thing it was thrown hard and got out of bounds. If it stays in, Elizabeth.
This is a second half team, and right now they're just not showing up there. I know it's only been a couple plays, but still, usually put the pedal to the metal and just go to the end zone. And right now, trips left at the bottom of your screen, and Allegro gets the carry.
Allegro to the right. Multiple penalty markers in the backfield.
So again, many penalties, and it's only the beginning of the second half.
Westfield getting called for hold. Elizabeth decides to decline it. Westfield forced a punt as fourth down comes up. And Chris, Westfield, they are not going to be able to get away playing like they played today in 2 weeks against a much more talented opponent in Bridgewater. Just 2 weeks ago, Bridgewater took care of Elizabeth 35-0. The Panthers are on a roll right now. They lost a couple games early in the season, but they are really hot. Here's a return. McDaniel couldn't make the tackle, and a couple extra yards picked up by the returner, Gabriel Nash. The speedster reminds you kind of a Tavon Austin of the LA Rams.
Yeah, we saw
and
him.
Great field position for Elizabeth now inside Westfield's 40-yard line.
Well, before the half ended, he had that good return, but Elizabeth couldn't capitalize him right there. Gets a couple extra yardage on the return, so puts him in great field position right now. And this is what Westfield did a lot last year. They marched down the field, or they pinned their defenders back deep in their own territory, kick it away, and they got ball in great starting field position. That's how they won so many of their games. And right now, Elizabeth's doing it to them as they pinged them back deep on Westfield's opening drive. And LaShane Taylor out there to start. As we saw, he took that huge hit to end the first half.
Nassim Daniels, the power back for Elizabeth, getting the carry and has a first down. Or it's going to be very close. Does, in fact, have the first down. A pickup of 11 for Nassim Daniels. That's a 6'2", 270-pound running back coming at you.
That big guy out there, probably one of the biggest running backs that Westfield's seen other than, R.J. Milligan they faced last week. And they did a great job of containing him, but this week, just a lot more speed and a lot more carriers to run the football for the Minutemen.
1st and 10, Daniels getting the carry, bouncing his way through the middle, but Rory McGovern, the first one there for the Blue Devils, stopping Daniels after just a 2-yard pickup.
Jordan Barham coming into the game for Noah Levy, as we've seen a lot of times this game. And right now, Blue Devils defense, gave up that run to Nassim Daniels, but right now, right there, made up for it with a short gain. And 2nd and long right now for the Minutemen. And we saw LaShane Taylor go down with the injury. I wouldn't be surprised, just keep running the football, as Taylor has had a hard time today, finding targets down the field. Had a couple in the first quarter with Harmon, and did hit that receiver in the end zone before the holding penalty, but still not as talented as passer as we've seen this season from other quarterbacks.
2nd and 8, a shot down the field, and it's caught for the touchdown. A huge play for the Minutemen. LaShane Taylor battling with the injury and finds the open receiver. And Elizabeth is an extra point away from tying the ball game.
Again, spoke too soon. LaShane Taylor able to find one of his receivers in the end zone. A great touchdown throw. And right now, Elizabeth
Gabriel
can tie
Nash
it up.
on the reception. A low snap, and Westfield is there. Still on his feet as the holder. Ball comes out, and the play is over. So a huge stop. Everything going right for Elizabeth. You get the touchdown, but Chris, you got to get the extra point. A bad snap, and the holder can't get it set. And Elizabeth is going to remember that play for a long time if they don't come back and win this game.
Absolutely. Westfield beat Union 7-6 on a missed PAT attempt, and right there, the holder cannot get the snap down. And if Westfield rides the rest of this game out 7-6, definitely that could haunt this team, and especially that one player for a while, as that play could have potentially, gotten them tied up in this game. Right now, Blue Devils got to bounce back. They got to go out there. Hank Shapiro got to make sure no stupid plays, like especially with that one he had with the intentional grounding. If you throw it away, make sure you throw it closer to the receivers. He did have Smith open, but there was still, he's had to get rid of it. And again, this rushing game, it's got to be there, and the offensive line's got to create that surge for them to get the ball down the field.
And Chris, I said right before the half, expect LaShane Taylor to come out there and fight for his season. And that's exactly what he did, delivering a bullet to Gabriel Nash, who has made a lot of plays in the return game for the Minutemen. Now Luna will send this one away. It's Stevie Barton, Emmett Smith back. High kickoff. Smith will take at the 10. Returning down the middle, and he's met at the 21.
By number 1, Daniels.
So Smith, not the type of returner we've seen this game, as we usually see him break one free. And right there trying to put a little too much on that juke move, and gets the ball only to the 21-yard line. But now the Blue Devils got to go out there and just got to attack this defense.
Jabril Harmon was slow to get up on that play. He had a big first quarter, but haven't seen too much of him on the offensive side of the ball for Elizabeth recently. 9:15 to play here in the third quarter. Westfield leads it by 1, 7-6 after the touchdown for the Minutemen, but a failed extra point after they couldn't get the snap off. And Allegro just got laid out there. Not much room to go, maybe a pickup of a yard.
The adjustments made by this Minutemen defense have been really well, as they've limited this Westfield offense. And the Blue Devils, they got to respond. They got to retaliate with that if they want to win this ball game. Or, again, the same thing could happen as we saw last drive with the Minutemen offense.
Shapiro has Colin Freer, who has a first down. Colin Freer doing a terrific job getting open, making the catch, and fighting for a few more extra yards to get the first down. Was guarded by Tassim Hicks, who wrapped him up.
He was able to create space on the play, get the first down, and right now that's what Westfield needs. Pick up the first down and just keep on rolling.
Allegro has nowhere to go. Nassim Daniels, one of the multiple guys for Elizabeth, playing both ways, getting the stop.
And right now, this Blue team, they see that running up the middle is not going anywhere. Try to swing it. They had that swing pass to House in the beginning, but still, that was a designed play. You got to make sure, just a pitch play, not just one of those screen plays. They got to make sure that they have the right amount of blockers, because they knew with the overload on that swing pass, they knew it was coming right to House, but again, didn't come up with it, and it was actually a fumble for a loss.
Westfield's offense really needs to wake up. Shapiro looking for Barden, underthrown and almost intercepted.
Defended for Barden. Defended there by Nash.
Gabriel Nash, who just had the touchdown, almost came away with the interception, and now he's going to have multiple words to say to Stevie Barden. Those two going head-to-head all game long. Barden not going to respond, though, with any comments back to Nash.
And right now, 3rd and 11
Excuse me, that's actually
now
Clarence Wilkins.
for the Blue Devils. And one-on-one coverage again with Barden and Wilkins, and same thing at the top of your screen with Rooney.
Shapiro finds Allegro, who gets drilled. And they're going to say Allegro was down before the ball came out.
Tackled by Hicks.
Elizabeth right now just looks like the more physical team, getting to the football so quickly and rallying their guys, stopping once Westfield makes a catch, bringing 4 guys right away to the football, to the ball carrier, and laying a big hit and trying to strip it free.
Yeah, right now, punting team out there. Kessler, good punt last time, but Nash just did a great job of getting the ball into Westfield territory.
4th and 13 with 6:45 in the 3rd quarter. Kessler onto punt. It'll bounce and down at the 20-yard line as Westfield lets it roll. The returner probably should have called a fair catch. He'll lose about 10 yards as a result.
Yeah, but a great punt by Kessler nevertheless. Now this defense got to be out there. Got to get the ball back for this offense. They had that one play to free, but that was it. They don't have anything going for them right now on offense. The run game isn't there. The pass game is barely there. They got to make an adjustment right now, or else this game could be going in Elizabeth's favor.
They're still controlling the field position game, though, as the Minutemen are backed up at the 20.
And now it looks like they shifted Dayon into more of a safety position out there, as you know he is a linebacker, but it looks like he's playing more with Adam McDaniel at the safety position at the 30-yard line.
Taylor will run with it and will be met. A pickup of a few.
So 2nd and 5 now for the Minutemen, tackled by McGovern on the play. And with 6 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter, Westfield's leading 7-6. And defense out there right now, only the 5-yard carry, but still they do not want to give up that big drive that they did last time. Elizabeth has a lot of ground to cover, but still Westfield wants to contain them where they are right now.
Shotgun for the Minutemen. Walker on the carry to the left side. Not much room to go.
Yeah, so about no gain on the play, so 3rd and 5 now for the Minutemen. Westfield comes up with a stop. That means the Minutemen are going to have to punt this football, and that's exactly what they want, because if they do that, they don't get the ball back at the 20, 25-yard line. They'll probably have it around the 35, between 30 and the 40-yard line. And that, it builds momentum for the drive, not to be worried back too far at their own end zone. They got to just get the drive going on offense. But right now, main focus, stop them right now.
3rd and 5 for Elizabeth. Westfield with a little miscommunication between Simpson and Barden. Not sure they didn't know who they were supposed to be covering. Elliott's on a receiver on the slot. And the Minutemen will talk things over as they call their first timeout of the 2nd half. Westfield 7, Elizabeth 6, 4:53 to play in the 3rd quarter. We'll be right back on BDTV. So welcome back here to Gary Kaler Stadium. The 9-0, number 11th ranked Westfield Blue Devils, the top seed in Group 5 North 2, and another dogfight with the 5-5, 5th seeded Elizabeth Minutemen. 3rd and 5, Taylor keeps it, And he's short, well short of a first down. Westfield's defense, time after time, coming up with big stops. And Chris, right now the pressure is on this Westfield offense. They need to score to let everyone in this stadium take a deep sigh of relief, take a deep breath, and calm down right now. There's the punt, a line drive boomer. One of the best punters this season. And Smith will let it go at the 20.
So great punt there as
Facundo Luna
pins him back at the 20-yard line.
Some college needs to sign this kid, Chris.
They had a great day punting the football, especially in this type of weather, too. You just can't tell where the ball's going to go, but he's pinned Westfield back deep so many times today. But Blue Devils cannot get discouraged right now. They got to make sure, offense is out there. I wouldn't be surprised, try to bring in McDaniel, as we said before, try to get that extra weapon on offense.
Yeah, they need a spark plug right now.
I mean, they have Barden out there, but he's just been very limited today.
Yeah.
Not saying that Smith and Rooney can't make those plays, but we see McDaniel do it time and time again. We saw it a lot last year.
Clarence Wilkins has done a nice job of covering Stevie Barden all afternoon. At the 20-yard line, Westfield trying to find some light on the offensive side of the football.
Allegro picks up about 6 on the carry. So 2nd and 4 now for the Blue Devils.
Such an intense game, Chris. You can really feel it right now. So many guys just pacing on the sidelines. Last year, the only game that was somewhat close was the state title game. Open receiver, Emmett Smith cannot make the catch. He had a touchdown if he could just hold on to the football. A huge missed opportunity for the Blue Devils right there.
And Smith, we saw that again against Watchung Hills, wide open. It was twice in that game. 2 drops from right there. Another one. He definitely wants to have that one back, but right now, you got to shake that one off. This is a huge game, one of the biggest of the season. Put that behind you, make up for it.
Short-term memory is what you got to have. A young player, we're going to find out. 3:18 here in the third. And that's going to be an encroachment on the Minutemen.
Yeah, that gets them the first down. And right now, Blue Devils got to capitalize.
Just a silly mistake right there from the Elizabeth defense. When Westfield's offense is having such a tough time moving the football, you can't give them free first downs like they just did.
So picks up the first down. Smith, Rooney, and Barden out there receiver with Allegro in the backfield. And right now, Westfield up 7-6, trying to get the ball down the field.
Fresh set of downs after the encroachment penalty. Allegro is going to get the carry. And he stopped immediately, maybe a yard for the sophomore.
But they got to see out there that running it up the middle up against these much bigger players for Elizabeth, especially Nassim Daniels, you said, one of the biggest guys on this team and on the field right now as well. He's just clogging up the middle and just going where the ball is. And again, number 23 for Elizabeth, Darius Brown's helmet comes off 4th time today. And like as you said, yeah, they definitely got to get that kid a new helmet out there.
And they really needed that touchdown to Emmett Smith.
Absolutely, that would have put him up.
They've had such a tough time moving the football through the air especially. And they get the open receiver. Shapiro, little shovel pass to Tommy Norris, the junior tight end. But he is met quickly and laid out by Tyrell Augusti. Able to pick up 4 yards, makes it 3rd and 4 for the Blue Devils.
A good pickup there by Norris. Picks up about 5 on the play. And right now, you got to get the first down again. They know how much this game is, and they know how much this drive can mean, because if Elizabeth gets the ball back, they could take the lead. But right now, Blue Devils got to get it.
Emmett Smith makes the catch. Looks like a face mask as the crowd for Westfield looking for the penalty, but they are not going to get it.
I can see the face mask from here,
And the punt unit for the Blue Devils will be forced onto the field. It's been a busy afternoon for this special teams.
I could see the face mask from here. That was a definite face mask call. And I would have gotten the Westfield the first down and more, but still, again, a bad officiating call right there, and Westfield's got to punt it away. You could hear the crowd on the play. Absolutely terrible call from that official.
High snap. Kessler, another good one. And there won't be a return. And it'll die at the 23. McDaniel downs it. The Minutemen, Chris, 5-5 on the year. They've gone back and forth all year long. Their longest winning streak 2, their longest losing streak 2. Started off the year getting blown out by Hillsborough on the road, 24-0. Then back-to-back wins at Watchung Hills. Then against Union, they got crushed by Linden. They took care of Hunterdon Central in a close one. Then there was the Westfield game at Rutgers, where they took the lead. They blocked a punt for Will Kessler, had a nice return at the 1. Then LaShane Taylor, QB sneak to get the touchdown back in week 6.
Good tackle there by Kessler.
Getting the carry, making a couple nice moves there. Then the highlight of the year for this Elizabeth team was their 50-0 victory over Plainfield. They suffered a tough defeat to Ridge. And then they got shut out at Bridgewater 35-0. And then last week going on the road as the 5 seed in the first round, building the confidence for the program, getting a Group 5 North 2 state playoff victory under their belt, crushing East Orange, and giving the Blue Devils a run for their money, certainly here tonight. Stevie Barden sends Javon Walker to the ground. A statement tackle for the senior.
Barden again coming up with a huge tackle behind the line of scrimmage, and clock is winding down 2-0, so that's the end of the third quarter, but Barden coming up with a huge tackle and making it 3rd and long for the Minutemen. But Mike, this Westfield defense, going back to the previous play before that one, the containment wasn't there, and for Wachter, he got back to line of scrimmage, but if there was containment, would have dropped him for an even bigger loss.
And the third quarter comes to an end. Here in Westfield, the Minutemen get on the scoreboard in quarter number 3 with a touchdown. LaShane Taylor finding Gabriel Nash, but then the missed opportunity on the extra point leaves us where we stand right now. 7-6, 12 minutes of football to be played. We'll be right back on BDTV.
We're back here at Gary Keller Stadium in the fourth quarter. Westfield leads 7-6. Wachter gets tackled. 4th down coming up. And right now, this Blue Devil offense has got to capitalize on that tackle. Javon Wachter, excuse me.
So the Minutemen will have to punt yet again here on 4th and 7. Early on in the fourth quarter. Facundo Luna sends another good one. And Emmett Smith will take the fair catch at the 37-yard line.
Another great punt right there. You definitely got to sign that kid. Just a booming kick. And it pins Westfield back in their own territory right around the 35-yard line. But Westfield almost did block that one. If they did that, this crowd would have erupted. Westfield would have gotten the ball in fantastic field position. But right now, Wandre House back out there to run this football. It looks like, the carries have been very balanced today for Allegro and House. But right now, the senior has got to show us some of his best stuff if Westfield can get some insurance now early in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, they have good field position, their best field position in a while. They've usually been backed up inside their 20 after all the punts from Luna. Wandre House getting that carry, picking up a yard, so 2nd and 9. Both Westfield with 3 timeouts left, Elizabeth with only 2. And the Blue Devils going to take every second off that clock that they can with 10:50 remaining. Shapiro off the play action has Jake Absgarden on the catch. His 3rd reception of the game, only his 4th of the season. Absgarden, the safety blanket this afternoon for Hank Shapiro.
Yeah, he really has come alive these past couple weeks, and that's what Westfield needed. You know, they need that fullback who can make a play, and they got him. He's had a couple nice blocks today as well, and gets Westfield the yards they need as Valabert comes into this game for this 3rd and short situation.
Valabert gives it up. Wandre House with a lot of room in front, and he is gone. Reservations for 6. Wandre House to the house, and Westfield is 1 step closer to punching their ticket to MetLife Stadium. And a flag is down at the Elizabeth 44-yard line.
Looks like it's going to be on the Minutemen, but still a great run right there by Wandre House. The read option was beautiful again. Jake Valabera holding it prolonged time, but it pays off in the end. And a great seal on the outside from Colin Freer, using his body to just apply a fantastic block. And Wandre House off to the end zone for 6. Great play, and those penalties on sportsmanlike conduct. Wandre House getting the insurance, and that took weight off my shoulders, the sideline shoulders, and every single Westfield fan's shoulders here today. Just a fantastic play. Great block from Freer, great run from House, and now if Aiden Bolin can convert a touchdown lead with 10 minutes to go. And like when they threw that flag, I was scared for a second because, you know, that flag's been, we've seen that yellow all across the field today, and it's just not stopped.
A 56-yard run for Wandre House. Westfield getting the touchdown they so desperately needed. The offense stepping up.
Wandre House, that's his 2nd rushing touchdown on the season. And just great run, 57-yard run. And Aiden Boland's going to have to kick from the 25-yard line. So if he can hit this, this would be outstanding. This is a big field goal for Aiden. If he hits this, he could be one of the unsung heroes in this ball game.
Aiden Boland, and that kick is going to be short. Looks like it might have got deflected at the line of scrimmage, but not a huge deal because Elizabeth couldn't convert their extra point, so Westfield leads it by 7.
It's the same score as when they played week 6, 13-6, and they can ride it out. Westfield, you know, still gets the win, but just a fantastic run by number 23, 2nd touchdown of the season. And what a hole he had, just off to the races, and all he saw was green grass ahead of him from the 50 on, but just outstanding run. But now Will Kessler get it down the field, and we've seen twice already this game, you know, a little bit of a squib in there, and if he can do it again, try to draw, you know, a miscommunication from these Minutemen receivers, Westfield could potentially get the ball back. But that definitely did get some insurance for the Blue Devils, and what a sigh of relief that these fans can take.
So the offense does their job. Now it's going to be up to the Blue Devil defense. A squib kick from Will Kessler, picked up at the 25 by Barrett. And he'll make his way to the 37-yard line, where LaShane Taylor, the junior gunslinger for the Minutemen, was the backup last year, but got a lot of time at quarterback, got a lot of reps in, has had himself a tremendous year, a dual threat guy, sort of a run-first guy, Chris, but as you mentioned in the intro, Elizabeth needed to step out of their comfort zone today and throw the football more. Back in the first meeting between these two teams, Elizabeth strictly ran the football last week. Only 8 passing attempts for Taylor. He's well surpassed that. But he needs to lead his team down the field and try to tie this game. He's got 63 yards to go, 2 timeouts to work with. 3 receivers set, design quarterback run, Taylor to the right. Has a 5-yard pickup. Still on his feet and finally brought to the ground.
Shea Elliott comes up with a tackle, and when we saw these two play at Rutgers, that game went by in a blink of an eye. It was just a lot of running the football for the Minutemen, but right now today taking shots down the field. When the ball hits the ground on a pass for incompletion, really slows down the game, and this game has been prolonged. Absolutely, there's been a lot of penalties, but still Elizabeth, as you said, has stepped out of their comfort zone to throw this ball down the field, and they would have had 2 touchdowns for throwing for LaShane Taylor, but there was that one with the holding penalty that got called back.
Taylor running downhill, has the first down and more. Down near the 47, Will Kessler making the stop.
Clock still winding down here. 9 minutes to go as Jordan Barham comes in for Noah Levy. And right now, this Blue Devil defense, they just cannot let up. If they do win this game, they have a couple days before their consolation game, or just the exhibition game, with Plainfield here. And then, they play if they win off to MetLife. But right now, do not let up on anything. Make sure that no more turnovers. There's another flag on the play, an illegal shift on number 17, Dakota Acosta, for 5 yards. So it's going to be 1st and 15 from around the 49 in Elizabeth territory.
Yeah, win or lose today, Westfield will be playing right here on Thanksgiving morning this Thursday at 11 o'clock against the Plainfield Cardinals, who are 0-10 on the year. 0-9, I should say. But obviously, it's not going to be a fun Thanksgiving if Westfield doesn't take care of business today. Senior day on Thanksgiving, but no one's hoping it'll be their last game. They're looking for MetLife Stadium in the 3rd straight state title appearance.
So Shane Taylor picks up about 3 on the play. Excuse me, 2. All right, now 2nd and long now for the Minutemen. We just have LaShane Taylor throwing the ball a lot more today, but the secondary for Westfield has definitely come alive in the later going of this game. Stevie Barden had that great deflection earlier. That was that one pass play from LaShane Taylor to Gabriel Nash on Jake Dam, but so overall the secondary has definitely come alive throughout this ball game.
2nd and 13 for Elizabeth. Ball at midfield. Taylor throwing a penalty marker on the play. The catch is made. Number 5, Tassim Hicks, the junior. And Jordan Simpson right there to make the stop.
Huge pop on the play.
Penalty is on the offense. Another illegal formation. But it'll be declined as Barham will now check out. And Bridgewater has just about wrapped things up. It is the 4th quarter of play in Piscataway. The Panthers, the 3 seed, lead the Chiefs of Piscataway, the 2 seed, 27-6. So if things hold up, it will be for the 3rd consecutive year, Westfield versus Bridgewater.
Come on, defense, let's go. Come on, D.
Right now,
A 3rd straight year for Bridgewater, that would be a different quarterback. Last year, our sophomore year, Chris, it was Eric Nickel. Last year, Nick Adanazio, and now Verano for the Panthers.
I remember Nick left, biggest guy on the field, 6'4" frame playing quarterback, and he was a tough guy to bring down last year. Again, it was more of a run team, but still a lot of big plays. But let's not forget the biggest play of that game, Adam McDaniel's pick six to the house to get Westfield a touchdown. And definitely one of the MVP of that game, as he did have 2 picks in that game. But, right now it's a completely different Westfield team, completely different Bridgewater team, and it's going to be a completely different ball game if Westfield does make it back to MetLife.
Well, they're 7 minutes and 3 seconds away from doing so. A 3rd and 11. Look right here for Valabert to break free and come up with the sack. Throwing situation for the Minutemen. 2 safeties back for Westfield, and it's intercepted! Drew Ortiz has the football! Unbelievable play from the senior linebacker, Big Papi. Drew Ortiz coming in clutch.
2nd interception on the season for Drew Ortiz. Could not have come at a better time. 7 minutes to go here in this ball game, but Drew Ortiz gets the pick that Westfield wanted, the turnover that this whole Westfield fan base sideline wanted. And Big Papi, as you said, coming up with a huge play. And Valabert at the end of that play got into a little scuffle with one of the linemen, and he was one who applied the pressure on the play. Overall, great defensive stop there by the Blue Devils. And right now, 7 minutes to go, run this clock out. You got Benny Bontempo in the backfield right now at fullback, in for Jake Ovesgarten.
Allegro gets the carry up the middle.
And right now, the clock's still winding down. Just keep feeding the ball to Allegro. Even mix up a pass play in there, just a quick one, nothing too big, just to keep the clock going. But still, just going back to that pick by Drew Ortiz, a little bobble in there, but able to come down with it. And there was an explosion from this Westfield fan base right in front of us. And, if Westfield comes out with this win, you got to thank Drew for his efforts on that pick.
2nd down for the Blue Devils. Allegro lowering the shoulder as he rolls over Darius Brown, but it brings up a 3rd down for the Blue Devils.
Looks like Valabert is checking into this game
6.
for this 3rd and 6 situation. Barden coming in too. We did see Valabert try to air it out to Barden before. Colin Freer before, but overthrew him. But again, let's see if try to go back to that, pick up this 1st down with 5:50 to go here in this game.
Third and 6. Valabert under center. Shovel pass to Colin Freer, the other tight end, the sophomore for the Blue Devils, but he is shy of the 1st down. Coach DeSarno, an aggressive play caller. Do they keep the offense out there? They will not, it appears. Kessler in the special teams unit will send this one away. Westfield's yet to attempt a fake punt or field goal this season.
Yeah, right now you just got to get him down the field, pin him back deep. Do not try to get kick it into the end zone. Obviously, you do not want that touchback. Pin him inside the 15. If you can do that, it's going to be a long ways ahead for this Minutemen offense to get a touchdown.
Good punt from Kessler, but it will go into the end zone for a touchback. The Minutemen will take over at their 20-yard line with 4:45 to go. The clock really winded down on that drive. 1 timeout remaining for Elizabeth. So this could be their final possession of the season. LaShane Taylor really going to remember that interception he threw to Drew Ortiz, if in fact it is.
Drew Ortiz, keeps saying it's just a heads-up play. And Lachey, I don't know where he was going with that football, as Ortiz was just right there, thrown right to him. Didn't really have to move too much to pick that ball off. But right now, Lachey Taylor's got to bounce back from that to get his team down the field. But, Mike, I'm going to say if Westfield gets another turnover, it's got to be game over if they can just run out the clock.
Taylor able to pick up a few yards on the scramble. And with Thanksgiving break, Chris, great to see all of the alumni on the field wearing their 2017 state champ jackets. Got the quarterback Phil Martini, Jeff Gagum, Brett Spaz, and a bunch of other Blue Devils supporting their team.
And from 2 years ago as well, I believe I saw Mike O'Connor and Jack Curry walking around. So, yeah, Thanksgiving break, it's going to bring a lot back. And Thanksgiving Day as well, you're going to see a lot of them back here too. So another flag is thrown on the play.
Naseem Daniels with a huge gain out to the 45, picking up the first down. 20-plus yard pickup, but there's a flag back near the line of scrimmage. This one might be coming back, and it will be. Another illegal formation.
Jordan Barham checks in for Noah Levy. Many times this game that substitution has taken place, but it's just because, try to mix it up a little bit. Guys getting tired, bring another one in. And we've seen Colin Freer check in also for Barham and San Giacomo as well. And that's going to move the Minutemen back, and right now 2nd and long with 4 minutes to go.
Blue Devils and the Westfield cheerleaders.
2nd and 10 for the Minutemen. 1 timeout remaining. 4 down territory. Trying to break the streak of 34 consecutive games. Only trailing by 7, but nowhere to go. Naseem Daniels wrapped up by San Giacomo and Shea Elliott.
Freer checks in for Bars, I just said, substitutions in and out throughout this game. And right there, Jordan Barham was one of the first ones in on that play along with Valabera. San Giacomo delivering the final blow. And right now, 3rd down and 7. Westfield's got to lock it down. If they can do that, the game, it's theirs. They just got to make sure to run out this clock. Clock's still winding down. You can see the Minutemen rush to the line to get this play off.
3rd and 7, under 3 minutes to go. Taylor trying to escape, and he's not able to do it. Colin Freer, the sophomore, gets the sack to force 4th down.
Colin Freer coming up the big play right before right after his substitution with Jordan Barham. Loss of 1, and it's going to be a timeout called on the field. And 4th down, Minutemen going to go for it. Westfield can lock this down. Game is theirs.
Injured Minutemen on the field, down on the field. 2:32 to go. The Blue Devils just one more stop, and they are in good shape to advance.
So you have 4th down and 7 to go after the sack by Freer. And right now, the injured Minutemen able to wobble off the field. And right now, this Westfield defense, punting unit is out there. And 2 minutes to go. Just try to run out the clock, get the first downs. And they'll be advancing to MetLife for the 3rd year in a row.
4th and 7. Westfield's going to take a timeout. Elizabeth lined up to punt the football. Very interesting decision with only 2.5 minutes of timeout left. And we're going to step aside here on BDTV. The 4th quarter, Westfield leads it 13-6 over the Elizabeth Minutemen. Welcome back here to Westfield, and another timeout is called. So Westfield calling back-to-back timeouts. It leaves them with just one remaining. And before the timeout was called, Elizabeth lined up in punt formation. Then just before that timeout call, they lined up to go for it. They have to go for it. They have no other option. So 4th and 7, we saw this basically the exact same scenario just a week ago against Ridge, and Wesley Hutkins was able to complete a couple really incredible passes, even better catches to Devin Seiglitz, Chris, on the far sideline for gains of about 25-15, and made it an interesting final possession.
Yeah, absolutely. Steiglitz had that Odell-like catch and almost had another one too on the sideline, but was forced out of bounds. And right now, 4 receivers spread out wide, crowd on their feet as this could determine Elizabeth's season.
Throw over the middle, and Shea Elliott's going to get called for the defensive pass interference. So it will be
So we thought it was the penalty on Shea Elliott after the contact. Penalty is declined. Turnover on downs by
my
Elizabeth.
mistake. I thought they were going to get the pass interference, but instead it's holding on Elizabeth. And the Blue Devils will take over at the Minutemen 20, and this game is over. And in Piscataway,
2 to go here in this ball game. Westfield's got to run out the clock. Elizabeth only has 1 timeout. Got to get the first down, and even if they do not get it, they can still go for it as they are deep in Elizabeth territory, and still Elizabeth has to get all the way down this field to score, but still this game is definitely in Westfield's favor from here on out if they can just get the job done. As Obsgarten checks in at fullback, Freer and Norris in at tight end, and looks like it's going to be a lot of running from here on out.
2:22 to go. Allegro is going to get the carry. To the right-hand side, picks up a couple yards. And Elizabeth will use their final timeout. We'll stay with you.
So final timeout for Elizabeth with 2:15 to go. And right now all Westfield's got to do is run this game out, get the first down. This game is over, and they can let the celebrating start early.
And Chris, did you think that was a pass interference on Westfield?
I mean, a little bit, only because, Elliott had his hand wrapped around, but still, I couldn't tell if it was on him or he was just coming around to deflect it. But nevertheless, it was just great defense. And Valabera, who has had his name hasn't been called too much, getting into the backfield today, you can see why, as he was held on the play. And a turnover and downs for Elizabeth. But still, it's a controversial call for Elliott. He has done a great job this season of playing defense in that zone area and knocking balls away, but still just great defense there by the Blue Devils. As it's 2nd and 10 now for the Blue Devils.
Shapiro will hand it off to Allegro. Picks up about 3. And now the clock will just run.
It's going to wind down under 2. Westfield's probably going to have to get the play off with about 1:35 to go. A minimum of 1:40, as you can just see looking up the sideline trying to run this game down.
And it is a final in Piscataway. No scoring in the second half. The Bridgewater-Raritan Panthers win it 27-6. So for the 3rd consecutive year, Blue Devils, Panthers, Westfield, BR in East Rutherford. An exact date and time still yet to be determined. And an incredible catch is made by Emmett Smith. Hank Shapiro taking a shot. Westfield not being passive with the play calling. And Smith making up for the previous play.
Yeah, Smith, he had that drop earlier in the game, but definitely makes up for it right there, making the catch of the year for the Blue Devils. And right now they can line up in victory formation Emmitt Smith, fantastic catch, and what a way to cap off this crazy semifinal game, as Westfield will now be going to the state final to play Bridgewater. Absolutely unbelievable game here for the Blue Devils.
Hank Shapiro will take the knee. Victory formation for the Blue Devils for the 10th time this season and for the 35th consecutive football game. November of 2014 against Linden in the state semis, where this streak was the last loss for Westfield. Thanksgiving Day against the Plainfield Cardinals on the road is where the streak all started. And it should be a cakewalk on Thanksgiving morning versus Plainfield. And
we're going to see a lot of backups in that game. As you know, it's a senior day game. We're going to see a lot of seniors out there. Probably going to be definitely going to be the last time playing on this field. But fantastic game for the Blue Devils, a game full of penalties and a lot of big hits from both teams. Overall, Westfield comes out with the win. Absolutely unbelievable performance, as they will be going to MetLife for the third straight year, playing Bridgewater for the third straight year. Unbelievable performance this season.
And that will end it. 35 consecutive victories for the Westfield Blue Devils, and a third straight trip to MetLife Stadium, where they will look to defeat the Bridgewater Raritan Panthers for the third consecutive year in 2 weeks. It wasn't easy, Chris, but Westfield found a way. It seems like we've said that every single game this year. A hard-fought battle from the first whistle to the final whistle. But some big plays. The standout play, Wandre House's 56-yard touchdown.
Absolutely. He found the whole column for your fantastic block on the sideline, and House up the middle of the field. But let's not forget Drew Ortiz's interception that stopped Minutemen's drive. And Emmitt Smith with the catch of the year to just cap off Westfield's win here at Gary Keller Stadium. Fantastic win all around from these guys. And we'll see them Thursday as they play Plainfield at 11 o'clock.
Thank you so much for watching, everybody. For our entire crew here at BDTV, our cameraman, Matt Goldman, analyst Chris Witzel, I'm Mike Leniart saying so long from Westfield. We'll see you on Thanksgiving morning. Here with the stars of the afternoon as Westfield wins their 35th consecutive ball game and advances to MetLife Stadium for the state title for the third straight year, where they will face the Bridgewater Raritan Panthers for the third straight year. Drew Ortiz, a huge interception late in the second half. Talk to me about that play and what you saw out of LaShane Taylor.
Coach Down told me just to read the quarterback's eyes, because even before the play, he make his pre-snap read, and you see where he had the best matchup. And as I saw him drop back, I saw him staring to one side. So I just threw it, went to that side, and ball just happened to go right into my hands.
Drew, your senior year, you guys have worked so hard for this. How much does it mean to you to be headed back to the state title?
It's an undescribable feeling, Melly. Undescribable.
Thank you, Drew. Great game. We'll see you on Thanksgiving. Adam McDaniel, the safety for the Blue Devils, had a huge fumble recovery after a muffed punt. Talk to me about that play, Adam.
Oh, it was just certain plays where you have to step up, and I saw the ball, so I just went for it. I knew I had to make a play, and that's what happened.
And for you, talk about what this means for you being a part of the program since all of you guys were just a little kid.
Well, after that first year going undefeated, winning the state championship, I feel like Coach really put that winning mentality in us, and we've just been keep it pushing from there. So that's it.
Thank you, Adam. And Jack McCauley had to fight through a lot of adversity today, dealing with multiple injuries. Jack, how did this team continue fighting, and able to get another W, 35 in a row?
Listen, I think we have a tighter bond than most teams. I just love being around these guys. When I got injured with my ankle, there was a lot of concern, and I mean, the guys really surrounded me, and I got in my bag, of course, and so did everybody else.
And for you, Jack, one of the 5 senior captains, you've been a part of Westfield football program for so long. Talk to me about what it means to you.
I mean, it hasn't really sunk in yet, but this is just the best feeling in the world. I mean, I haven't lost at home. There's nothing that can beat this feeling right now.
Thank you, Jack. And last but not least, QB1, Hank Shapiro. Hank, you continued your great season. You got the job done. How does it feel for you?
I mean, everything we do on this team is for the seniors. They really led the way today, and we follow them every day in practice, and I was just excited to help them go back to MetLife for a third time.
Appreciate it, Hank. We'll see you on Thanksgiving.
I'm here with star running back Wandre House today. And Wandre, you went down with the injury. How did you bounce back and get that 57-yard touchdown to get some insurance here for the Blue Devils?
I didn't even care about the injury, you know. Once I realized my knee was fine, I just wanted to get back in the game and score. You know, we needed a touchdown. Second half, it was close, so I did what I had to do.
And going to MetLife Stadium for the third time, how does this momentum keep going and hopefully get you your third consecutive victory against Bridgewater?
You know, we just got to keep doing what we did the past 2 years, just keep working hard, you know, and give them what we gave them the past 2 years. That's all.
All right, thank you, Andre. Great game today.